Hey dudes and dudettes, here with another Path of Exile gym video for you. This one's going to be on anger. It is an aura skill, and we'll go over it, we'll talk about it, and after we read it. Anger, aura, fire, spell, AoE. So things that buff the aura, fire, spells, or AoEs can buff this, and any support gems that buff buff those or support those can do this as well. Level 12. Mana reserved, 60%. This is the max of a skill, a flat, that can be reserved, is the 60%. If you add any supports to this, it will reserve more mana. So it's not best to add any real supports to this, support gems linked to it. Cooldown time, 0.5 seconds. Requires level 47, 67 strength, and 47 int. It's a considerable requirement on strength. You're going to have to, if you're a mainly dex character, I would suggest going with a different aura. There's ones that match this that do cold damage and lightning damage, and this one does fire. One's built more around dex, one's built more around intelligence, and this one is, of course, built around strength more. So use the one that maybe corresponds to the main stat that you're using. Cast an aura that adds fire damage to the attacks of you and your allies. 29% increased area of effect radius. As you level up, the AoE of it, the area of effect radius will level with it and get higher. You and nearby allies deal 40 to 67 additional fire damage with attacks. And of course the fire damage levels with it as you level up the gem. This is a fantastic gem for anyone that's going to be using elemental damage or just wants a damage boost off their aura instead of something like haste that gives attack speed and run speed, or discipline that gives, energy shield and, more of the defensive auras. This is built specifically for the offensive, and it does add quite a bit of DPS and power to your skills. See right here, Cyclone says 1233.5, and if you go and turn on Aura, 1319. So you can see there that it adds
my mana is gone.
Nearly 100 right now DPS to you, and that's without buffing your fire damage. Anything that buffs fire damage is going to buff the fire damage that you deal through that. So it has a lot of things to go to it. Back when they made the first punch builds with the Facebreaker mitts, you can go back and see when Grinding Gears was releasing those videos that someone actually used the auras for that build, and it was quite broken, but this allows you to always hit that much fire damage. So it's a pretty cool skill, and I've seen people actually run all three. They maxed out their aura stuff, and they can run all three of the different elemental damage auras, and you can build quite a strong elemental damage character with that if you're going all elemental on hit and stuff. So it's pretty cool to have, and if you prefer to use a damaging aura over the defensive types, it comes in, it's pretty useful, especially in groups, because when you add up, you getting 40 to 67, that's great, but when everyone in your group is getting 40 to 67 extra damage added, it's quite a lot, especially for those that do more elemental damage. This guy's mostly physical. So anyone that's spec down fire is going to get much more out of this aura. You can see there, you can see the fire, the effects of the fire being done to them. Oh, well, look what we found here. I'll just open this up since you're joining me on this video. We'll open that up and see what's inside of it. We better get OS. See that? Popped. I've been getting some terrible OS since the Val update, but I still want to make the videos for you. We'll ID this. Contained items have 1% quality. What? We'll re-roll that. That's a terrible one. Let's do this. And that's not bad. Identified items. So let's turn on our Blood Rage. This. And lay that over there. I expected more enemies. Not that great. Too bad it didn't at least have a chromatic in it. But I hope you found this interesting on the aura. I know I've done a lot of the defensive auras and stuff, but I thought this would be cool to do. Anger's fantastic for a melee character that wants that extra offensive bit and have a little elemental damage added to them. And any character that uses elemental damage is going to benefit greatly from it. So as always, take care, be safe, and be cool to each other.